Hey everybody, happy Friday. Feliz Viernes, Feliz Sexta-feira. All right, today was deadlift party day. Dia de festa de levantamento terra. And how did it go? It went fantastic. Well, it went pretty well. Backed off on what I was going to do for trap bar so I could have a little bit more in the tank for sumo. That all worked out fine. I think it actually is a little bit better that way because sumo balances out some of the medial glute activity I need to make sure I focus on. So, real quick, pounding through 1 plate, 2 plate, 3 plate, 3 plates on trap bar. That is 340 5x5. Took those 3 plates, slapped them on a regular bar, so 315 5x5. Nothing super heavy. Everything looked pretty good on video. Trap bar deadlifts were pretty quick. Sumo's always going to be a little bit slower because it's a little bit weaker for me, but everything was pretty good. You know, it's been an interesting week. In the end, I made the best of it. Had a pretty good day yesterday. Finished it all pretty well. And Monday's a new week. We'll see where it goes from there. And I got the weekend to enjoy. Spend some time with my family. My one daughter's coming to play some rugby tournaments. That'll be great to watch. And man, it's all good. Not much else to say without going on a big ramble about rocks from the bottom of the ocean and how we don't have much time left on this earth, no matter how old we are. When we think about things in geologic time. And why when, you know, I have something like a phone call that I've got to be on for a conference call and I only need to speak for maybe a minute or two and it's an hour and a half call, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something else, like deadlifts. I had a deadlift party while these other dudes and ladies were chit-chatting about things that I wasn't all the super duper interested in. And I made the best of it. Good for me. So I would encourage all you folks to do the same. I'm not saying do deadlifts while you're in the middle of a meeting, but if you can, try to make sure you use the best of your time so that you're doing something for you and not for someone else, unless they absolutely need it or you want to do something for someone else. A lot of these meetings, right, they just put a bunch of people in a room and it just wastes a bunch of time. Could have been an email kind of deal. And yeah. Do what you can with that time to get it back so you can use it to make yourself better. All right, so had my deadlift party. That went great. Gonna do my accessories here in a few minutes. Be ready to go. I got another phone call coming up. Hopefully this one goes pretty well. I'm pretty optimistic about it. And man, I hope everyone out there has a great weekend. I'm gonna try my best to have a great weekend. And man, you know, just gotta, you know, 1 foot ahead of the other. I reminded myself of that this week. Just gotta pick yourself up and keep going. And just like in the gym, consistency is key. If you get back up and get back to work, start moving forward, things will come along. They always do. All right. So with that being said, happy Friday. Feliz Viernes. Feliz Sexta-feira. Happy deadlift party day. Feliz dia de festa de levantamento terra. And as always, get into those gyms, hit those goals, and get swole. Peace.
You know, the issue with the data sets keep coming to mind, and we got to figure out a way to get through that. You know, the machine learning, AI, ML, anything that we've been doing in that arena, it takes a tremendous amount of data to get anywhere. And if we can't share even a single data, it doesn't make. I don't know what we're going to do with that. So on that side of it, Denise wrote in the chat that there's a Canada, the CR and Admiral Trey are going to have a joint meeting with.
It's being routed now for final signature. We've been working on it for 4 or 5 years, so it's taken a long time to get to this point, but it's an effort under the Coalition Warfare Program, and it's called Robust ASW, with the intent to have collaborative data gathering events with U.S. and Australia for Mackie type fields.
Okay. Cool. All right. So I'll try to capture that
from all of the five eyes, and the intention is to give a snapshot of each nation's capability and to use that to prioritize areas of research and collaboration. So I'm going to show just some quick snapshots of this, but this is a topic that we've been discussing in all of our KTA meetings over at least the last 6 months. So just if you'll give me a second, I'm going to walk you through this and know that there is quite a bit going on.
well, let me make it a bit bigger on my screen.
Everybody has lots of examples of physical understanding of water column temperature. It's a hopefully pretty easy to understand example. Everybody has a pretty good physical understanding of propagation loss and pretty good models for propagation loss. And then if we go down to the red, same X and Y variables, but we're now looking at cases where we have few examples, so places we might want to focus research. And you'll probably be noticing there's some overlap between red and green, and that's because, you know, we have some cases where one or class project, a hackathon, something that was pretty simple and tractable for all of the participants, and that was important. We've talked across all the KPAs with challenges with data sharing. And so it was really important to us that we picked something where we weren't going to have any barriers in things, different nations or entities being able to access the data. We wanted it to just be an exercise in working on a relatively straightforward machine learning problem. Straightforward not because it has an easy solution, but straightforward in the problem description itself is pretty.
To like the recommendations that for the ones that, you know, in addition to the